Oh, this is gonna be my first video. I guess the purpose of this channel is just honestly anything I really want to film. For now, I'm thinking just mostly my thoughts, and I hope some people will learn. So some qualifications, I guess. I'm 18 years old. Currently a freshman in college. And I know it sounds very young for someone trying to give out advice to other people, but I'd like to think that I am a little more mature than people my age. Anyways, what do I want to talk about today? So, as you will likely see in the video title, you are going to fail your New Year's resolution in less than 2 weeks. By that I mean most of you who've made New Year's resolutions are going to fail on February 1st. And you can say that I'm being cynical and all that, but like realistically, it's just gonna happen because, well, there's many reasons. I guess this is the first reason. You rely on motivation. Just know that motivation comes and goes, and if you're relying on that, you're eventually going to fail. It just is. But the solution, you see, and that just sounded so condescending, but the solution to relying on motivation is developing discipline, and this is something I've definitely learned. Discipline, in a sense, is basically just knowing that you have to do it. Like, no matter what, you just have to do it. Like, for example, this actually happened yesterday. I went to my classes, and I thought I lost my wallet. So I ended up spending around like 2 hours. So I have like time periods. I have morning class, and then I have one afternoon class, and there's like a 3-hour time period in between the two where I go to the gym. And so it was after my morning classes that I realized I lost my wallet. And then I spent like around almost 2 hours searching for it, and I didn't find it. Had to get a replacement student ID card and a room card to get into my room because those cards were all in my wallet, and I thought I lost it. And then I got into my room and found out that my wallet was actually just all in my room, and I just wasted 2 hours. But more of the story, after that, I still had an hour left, so I still went to the gym. Now, I didn't do everything that I wanted to, but I still went. So my schedule for going to the gym is I have training, so I have strength training, and then I do cardio, and then I do abs and stretch. And I do cardio and abs and stretch every single day. So yesterday I first did my cardio and did abs and stretched, and then after my afternoon class I went back to the gym again, so that was the second time going to the gym, and I did my strength work. So if I was relying on motivation, I would have not gotten to the gym. I was just thinking to myself, man, I spent 2 hours, all this stress, I'm getting hungry, I just don't want to do anything after this. I feel down. I don't feel good. But going to the gym is just something that I do every day. It's just I have to. There's no excuse in the world. Yeah, pretty much no excuse in the world unless I suffer a very traumatic injury in which I physically cannot go to the gym or do any sort of activity. That would be an excuse. Yep. Anyway, on to number 2. What I see from a lot of people is that they don't consider, I guess, the cost of making that New Year's resolution. So, like, right now, there's a lot of people in the gym, like, even in college gyms. It's like, the capacity is probably like around doubled, even now. It's like, it's the 20th, and still, the capacity is like doubled. But say for that example, you want to get into shape. Okay, you see the future, you see what you want, or hopefully you do. But did you really consider what it would cost? Like, did you think about all the hours of sweat, uncomfortableness, and sacrifice it would take? I mean, I'm just guessing here, but probably not. Because if you did, you wouldn't set such a grandiose goal like that. Because getting in shape doesn't just take a year or two. Getting into shape, unless you're already like somewhat in decent shape and getting back into shape, that would be much more achievable in like 1 or 2 years. Like if you're the standard American, which is overweight, body fat percentage around 20 for males, 25 to 30%. Females would be higher. Healthily, to getting into shape, you would probably need at least 2 years of consistent training to see any results. And honestly, that's just for anyone. Just like, if you want to see results, just train for a couple of years. You will see results. You probably won't see results in 1 year. That's for sure. Unless you have like really good genetics and are already in decent shape. But that's a different topic. Another thing is visualizing the achievement. So this is what a lot of professional athletes do. They don't visualize like in the tournament or like against their opponent, like playing against them. They visualize on the podium getting the medal. They visualize they already won. And that really helps. Because when you visualize what it feels like to already achieve your goal, I guess it makes you feel like you've already done it. Like, you already know you're going to do it. And I guess you already know what you're going to do in the future. So right now you're just waiting, basically. You're just basically just waiting for that future. And you're less focused on the painful aspects and more focused on that singular point. Okay. 4th point. What I see a lot of people do is they share their New Year's resolutions. I do agree to an extent that this can work, but for the majority of people, I still think you should keep your New Year's resolution secret. Why? Because, in a sense, when you tell someone, you're like, okay, so let's say this year I'm not gonna drink at all. And I tell all my friends that, and then we go to the bar, and, friends are drinking, and then I'm not. And then they tell me, oh, look at you, you're following your New Year's resolution, you're not drinking. And then I react, yeah, I am. I am doing my New Year's resolution. So, you get that little high off of that. And, well, eventually, I guess, nobody's going to encourage you anymore. And so if you get too used to like that encouragement, you're going to fail because no one's encouraging you when it's 2 a.m. and you're struggling. Like, no one's going to help you but yourself. I guess this ties in with motivation. Like, it's just like the same thing with motivation. And that's why discipline is king. And another thing is identity. So, I guess what I want to say is when the things you say, like, the things you say will lead to different things. What I mean by that is, say for example, there's two statements. One of them is I go to the gym. Alright? Second one is I'm trying to go to the gym. You see the difference? One of them is I myself identify with the person that goes to the gym. But the second statement identifies with the person who's trying to be that person who goes to the gym. They're not being the person who goes to the gym. I guess it's a little confusing, but I mean, it's basically what Master Yoda said. Do or do not, there is no try. And I mean, I feel like that fits really well, because what you believe creates what you perceive, and what you perceive creates what you believe. And when you put yourself in the shoes of someone who already does your New Year's resolution, you can always just think back to what. So if you're having trouble, you can always think back to what would that person do in this situation. So like if you want to be an athlete, you would think, what would an athlete do when he doesn't want to go to the gym, when he doesn't want to do the work? What would he do? Well, I think most athletes would still go to the gym and still train, because that's their responsibility as athletes. And my final point is, don't let failure stop you. So, I guess, why does your New Year's resolution have to be perfect? Like, why can't you fail? I mean, in essence, this also ties into, why do you have to start a goal on New Year's? Like, why can't you just do it today? I don't like the concept of New Year's resolutions, because you're relying on a day, just one singular day in a year, to set yourself up, to better yourself, to achieve something. Why don't you just start today? I mean, I guess I just don't like that. And going back to why you shouldn't let failure stop you, I guess timing really doesn't matter. Like, if you fail today, you can still go on for another 365 days, and that'll still be a year. So, like, that will technically be a New Year's resolution, because what is a New Year's resolution? It's basically saying, oh, it's a new year, and for this new year, I'm going to change. Well, why can't you just decide that new year to be right now, and then change from now to a year from now? And beyond that, it's like, if you fail once or twice in a year, or even like once or twice in like 3 months, so you still did it for most of 3 months. 3 months is 90 days. You still managed to achieve your goal for 88 out of 90 days. I don't know the percentage of that, but it's pretty damn high. So you still got an A, right? I'm in school. Focus on grades. You still got an A. It's okay. Your GPA is safe. But yeah, I guess that's all I wanted to say. This is new to me. I'm not new to video creating and just media creating, but like recording myself with a camera, it's kind of new. And just talking, it is new to me. Hopefully I'll get used to it. Anyway, bye!